Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from Polka Dot Penguins 1945. Am I the beehole for not watching my neighbor's kids? My neighbor asked this morning for people to watch her kids, 7 and 9. This week, it's spring break, so they're out of school. She had a sitter lined up, but things fell through at the last second, and she cannot take time off of work all week at the last second without being fired. A number of our neighbors agreed to watch them for certain periods of time, ranging from a few hours to a couple of full days, so it seems like she's mostly covered, just has Friday afternoon left to go. My immediate next door neighbor, a retiree who was watching the kids today, chimed in that Polka Dot Penguins 1945 works from home on Fridays. You should ask her to watch them. She tagged me in the comment, and then the mom replied by tagging me again, saying it would be great and she'd really appreciate it. I said, I'm sorry, but I cannot watch them. It quickly turned into an inquisition. Why not? Am I going into the office that day? If I'm going to be home, what's the problem? If my house isn't childproof, I can watch them at hers. So what's the problem? Reddit. Firstly, I don't want to. I'm gonna step in right here. There you go, right there. Done. If you say no, it's no. But back to the story. It isn't just that I know nothing about kids, which I don't, but I am also actively uncomfortable around them. More importantly, I will be in my home office actually working. I cannot supervise them. I don't know much active supervision a 7 and 9-year-old need, but my house is full of expensive things. I also have zero childproofing and couldn't even tell you for sure where all my chemicals and rat poison are kept. I have an enormous dog who is clumsy and excitable and has never been around kids except from a distance on walks. I can't just watch them at her house instead because I need to be in my home office working. It isn't the kind of job I can easily do on a laptop screen. I use a 45-inch monitor at home. I explained this all briefly in a response to questions you shouldn't have to. My house is the opposite of childproof. I can't go to her house because my job requires the setup that I have in my home office. I didn't mention that I hate kids part. The neighbors are all piling on and commenting negatively, saying it's just excuses. That if they worked from home slash wouldn't be at Disney World, didn't have a softball game, you could drop your trip to Disney World, I'm just saying. Whatever, they'd absolutely watch her kids for her. I'm tempted to comment on what's stopping you from taking her kids with you to the softball game, if that matters too much to you. But I haven't. Oh, ask them why they don't take the kids to Disneyland. I'm sure the kids would love going to Disneyland for free. Just saying. I am not going to watch your kids either way, but I need a sanity check here. Am I really that big of a beehole for not stepping up and watching a neighbor's kids for a few hours? Or have I just accidentally moved into a hive of mama bears who all have the same mass delusion? Hi, OP. Judging from the story, it sounds like you're the only one that actually has a brain between their ears. This is insane. Hey, random strangers, can you watch my child when I go to work? First of all, it's not your problem. That's not your child. You know what I mean? That's not family. Personally, if I were you, I would be uncomfortable watching someone's kids. Even if I'm cool with the neighbors, I'm not gonna watch their kids. The closest you can get from me is maybe if I'm outside doing some yard work and like, hey, I'm gonna go inside real quick to get a thing. Can you please make sure my kids don't run into the street? You might get that out of me if I'm like mowing the lawn or something, but I'm not gonna be paying attention to them. So that is weird. I would never, you know what I mean? I would never, if I had kids, I would never be like, hey, random neighbor who I'm kind of cool with, or it sounds like they don't really know you. Can you watch my kids for hours while I go to work? That's not your problem, OP. Those are not your kids. And I really hate how your neighbor recommended you out of nowhere and just offered you up. Oh, hey, they work from home. Let them watch your kids. First of all, like you said, your job requires you to be in that office. It's not something you can easily do on a laptop, and I get that. It'd be hard for me to do my thing on a laptop, too. Even this YouTube thing would be annoying on a laptop because my eyes are not that great. I need like a 20-inch laptop, something like that. My little 13-inch crappy MacBook can't do crap. You know what I mean? I'm talking about screen size. It's an old one too, so it runs like garbage. And I love how people think if you work from home, you're not really, oh, you could just do whatever. No, you can't slack off if you work from home. You have to get your work done. Personally, I think it's a little harder to work from home because you're in an environment where you can slack off and you do have distractions. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you go to work, you're in the mindset, hey, I gotta work. I'm here for this many hours, I have to work. It's kind of like a little bit like school and studying too, if you want to make it a little simpler. Like I remember growing up, if I was at home, I wouldn't study. So when I was failing, I went to like the school study center tutoring zone, and I studied. So people need to understand, yeah, it when you work from home, you gotta work. And then them piling on you at the end like that, that's cool that you guys can do that and you want to do that, but you can't force someone to do something like that because when you're watching someone's kids, you're liable for that child. And like you said, you don't know a thing about kids. I'm in the same boat. Like I have nephews and nieces, but if someone's like someone a friend of ours just had a newbornish baby, almost a year I think. But when I was holding that baby, I was holding that baby for dear life because I feel like I'm holding a porcelain doll. I don't want to drop that child. So I'd be the same way with other people's kids. Like I don't have the skills, you know what I mean, to watch kids because I just don't have kids, and I'd feel uncomfortable watching someone else's kids. Like I'd be more willing to watch a family member's kids because they know me and I know them, you know. And like you said, use the baseball game as an example. Personally, I would use Disneyland. I'd be like, hey, don't you think was it 7 and 9, something like that? I'm pretty sure those kids would love to go to Disneyland, and I'm pretty sure the mom would love that too because Disney ain't cheap. So it'd be great, to, for her to save some money, and her kids get a great memory and a fantastic experience. So P, you're not the beehole, but it seems like you're living in crazy cuckoo crazy land because what you're saying makes sense to me, and I wouldn't ask my neighbors to watch my kids. Like maybe if they're old enough where I'm leaving them at home by themselves for the first time, and I'm walking out and I see the neighbor and I'm like, hey, can you just watch the house to see that it's not on fire? I'm leaving, little Timmy alone. When was I, like 12? I think 12 is when my parents started leaving us home alone. Yeah, make sure little Timmy doesn't. If you see a fire, please help. That's it. That's the best I would do. So P, you are not the beehole. And our next one comes from Flat Celery 1871. Am I the beehole for not giving my stay at home wife more money? My 29-year-old male wife, 26-year-old female, quit at the beginning of this year her relatively well paying job in a video game development to pursue a writing career. That's great. I think she's a great writer and wholeheartedly support her choice. Now, both my wife and I come from upper class families. The only difference is that my parents grew up under communism, so I was taught the value of money from a young age. My wife did not have such an upbringing. Her lifestyle and hobbies scream rich person, especially her gaming habits. When she had her job, this wasn't much of an issue, but now it seems like she's out of savings and has been asking me for more money. I asked her clearly, is this for a book research? And she said no, so I told her no. She can make do with what she has. She seems okay with it at first, but now she's passively joking that I'm a financially controlling a-hole. Ooh, okay, you gotta nip that in the bud. She's over here trying to insinuate stuff, but back to the story. What's bothering me more is that she's doing it in front of the kids, a 5-year-old female and a 3-year-old male. Edit. Wow, this blew up. Some people are asking for clarifications. When I meant rich people, I meant trust fund baby rich. This applies to both of us in a sense, but my family is built or regained our wealth after communism fell. She gets money from her trust fund. When I mean gaming habits, is she's one of those whales people complain about when discussing microtransactions. Oh my god, of course it's phone games, right? Phone games. I use games in the loosest term because I don't count phone video games as real video games. But hold on, let's finish this. This issue doesn't involve household expenses or stuff we do together. This is our shared expenses I covered. I'm not letting her starve like someone implied. This is about brunch with the girls 5 times a week. Kids aren't an issue. Our parents help us 24/7. Okay, first things first, thank you for the clarifications. I love how people always jump to the worst conclusions. Oh, you're starving her. No, you're not starving her. It sounds like she likes to waste money on dumb crap. Like, I love video games. I wish I had more time to play video games. Right now, I have 9 hours on Dragon's Dogma 2, and I haven't really done much of anything because this game loves to waste your time. Sorry, I wandered off. Yeah, this is a terrible habit. Like I said, I have a habit for playing video games, and they're getting expensive, but I thought you meant like real video games. Phone games aren't real video games. They're Skinner boxes. They're there to manipulate you and to waste money. And people, usually weak-minded and weak-willed people, will wail out and waste money on crap. Like, I just don't get it. Like, you're spending all this money on something where eventually when it fails or enough people stop playing and they stop making money, they're gonna shut down the servers, and all that money you spent on that gone. You don't even get to play the game after they shut it down. So Pete, because of that, that is infuriating. She's wasting it on dumb crap. And yeah, she quit her job, which sucks for her, but it sounds like you're actually there trying to help her with her next career in writing books, but it sounds like she just wants to slack off and not write her books and waste her time on little phone games. So, P, I'm gonna say you're not the beehole, but like I said in the beginning, you need to nip that crap in the bud where she's gonna try to say you're controlling. She's gonna start saying you're gaslighting me. Like, OP, that type. You're married and you have kids, so I'm not gonna say anything, but you need to sit her down and be like, hey, I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you money to waste on crap. If you want money to waste on garbage like cell phone games, get another job while you write your book. Because honestly, she could have kept working her game job and wrote her book on the side. I'm just saying. She probably jumped off thinking she could just burn money from you. OP, not the beehole. Don't give her money for dumb crap like that. I guess for book research, I don't know. I feel like she could just Google stuff for her book. Yeah, OP, it sounds like she just wanted to have an easy time, and she should have just discussed that with you in the beginning, but, yeah, OP, not the beehole. And our last one comes from Weekly Cut 5857. Am I the beehole for refusing to wear a bra when my roommate's boyfriend stays over? I don't wear a bra at home. I go to college, then library, and then work, and then the gym. I'm out at 7 a.m. and back at 10 p.m. Usually I take a quick shower when I get home, then make a snack and just relax for an hour before bedtime. On weekends, I barely leave the apartment. Besides the occasional outing with friends or colleagues, my roommate and I are very close, but now she's been biting my head off about not wearing a bra at home. I was confused, and then she explained it was about her boyfriend. I laughed in her face and told her to put a bra on his eyes instead. She got very upset, but I told her I wasn't interested in her boyfriend, not in the slightest. She got offended and said that he wasn't interested in me either, so I said, then why are we arguing? Yeah, I agree, problem solved. It was only an issue if we were interested in each other. Telling him next time he sees me braless, he could pretend that I'm a wall. According to her, it wasn't about interest, but being invasive, and he felt uncomfortable. Would you think that it was fine if he showed his D? I called her stupid because I was in my home. I wouldn't go braless in his home, and if he chose to go naked in his home, the only right I have is to get the hell out of there. She called me a beehole. Am I? Hi, OP. No, you're not the beehole. For one reason, like you said, it's your home. You should be able to feel comfortable in your home. And I'm with you. Sometimes I want to run around the house butt naked, and sometimes I will, because it's my home and I can do that. And like you said, if he walked around with his D out, or like she said, whatever, then yeah, that's his home. You can do that at his home, and yeah, you leave too. I love how he feels it's invasive and he feels uncomfortable. Cool. This isn't your house, buddy. You can just leave. Those two can go on dates. They can go to his house. He has a house, so where he can feel comfortable. This is your place. You're paying. You should feel, safe and comfortable in your own domicile. So no, P, you're not the beehole, and she needs to get over it. And like you said, problem solved. You're both not attracted. They're both not attracted. You are both not attracted to each other, so there shouldn't be a problem. And it's your house. At the end of the day, it's your house. You're paying for it too. So no, some random person who's not living there doesn't get to dictate what you wear in your own house. Again, OP, not the beehole. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.